I don't think it was a scintillating piece of television, or that anyone who, unlike you and me, who, this is our bread and butter, would come away with it thinking, wow, that was something to see. But it allowed the three leaders to get their jabs in, and there were few.
You talk about large offices. You gave $400,000 to your former boss, Danny Graham, while everyone else had to cut back.
Clearly, the two opposition leaders didn't talk about their platform a whole lot.
No, and I think that was by design, at least for the Liberals. Stephen McNeil on the campaign trail has criticized Jamie Bailey and Gary Burrell for their platforms, but next to none of that last night. And I thought he did, I don't think he was terribly comfortable, but I thought he did a pretty good job taking the criticism and pivoting to talking about what he wanted to talk about.
Do you acknowledge as a fact that food bank use in Nova Scotia has risen faster in the last year than in any other province in our country?
I would agree with you that food bank use is too high in this province.
The other thing that was important for the Premier, or for the Liberal leader certainly, was to keep angry Stephen at bay. I know that people have been working on him, because when he gets angry or irritated, they don't think that's a vote getter.
But he's right. You promised them
what would
to
I do
extend
then?
the tax credit. You should answer his question. It's a good question. Didn't that bother you when you broke that promise?
I think the big surprise, for people who were just tuning into the election, really was Gary Burrell and his performance. He was less scripted. He didn't want to work with a teleprompter, and it showed that he was much more natural, and his attacks seemed more real.
Well, it also gave people a chance to actually see him in action, and I think unless you're a political watcher, maybe you've not seen that very much. What do these guys need to do in the dying days?
I think they need to continue to go out there and meet people and try and energize this campaign. But it's, the nice weather's here. That's their biggest hurdle right now, is that people want to be spending more time on the patio than they do, watching you and me. But people should stay tuned to cbc.ca/ns to get the latest political info.
Exactly.